come up and talk. I came up and talked today, and you were there, and you saw what happened.
Yeah, but
Do you think that's fair?
Oh,
we must have gone on.
Okay, but hear what? That's what happened.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't 9.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I
Anyway, let me jump off and I'll listen from the chat. Big up yourself. Big up everyone in the YouTube world.
Please, like you're always welcome here. And,
Yeah. Plus,
I always like.
And apologies to Danny. I did say to Nixie that I will go on her stream. But,
yeah, please, Danny.
Anyway, take it easy.
But please, listen to what Nine's got to say. Like I said, I titled this way forward because I'm just hoping that something can, be resolved. Because it'd be a shame to see you guys just fall out completely over this. Nine, do you want to jump up and say anything?
Well, no, I just want to. Well, that's enough said. I'm going on mute.
But stick around if Nine jumps up so you can hear Nine's response to it. I hate this way of doing it, because I just think both of you should be able to talk as adults, together on this.
Yeah, but one don't act like an adult, and you know
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Evening, PooTube. So it seems to be everybody's eating each other at the moment. Now, I did say this like last Christmas or whatever. Just enjoy the banquet. You've got people playing the tactics of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now, all that has done over the last few months is tenfold or whatever, to the point where now you've got people that have said all sorts of shit, vile shit about each other or whatever, that are now sat with each other. And them tactics realistically just leaves you sat with shit cunts that you can't stand. Now obviously everything comes out in the wash. Buddha, who's mixed race or whatever, has been called out by the G Block lot or whatever, calling him a byproduct of a mixed relationship, etc. Now, to me, that's more along the tame side of things. So let's say 9 months. It's one of them. I put videos out 9 months ago saying the exact same of what's going on at the moment or whatever. It's disgusting. It's fucking vile the way that the people around G Block speak about white people, and more so mixed race. Now, even the children are like, it's like a prime target to go for or whatever. Not Lady D, Nines or whatever. I've heard her coming out with some of the most vile shit. I don't know whether it's just me or whatever, but when I hear shit, especially about children from a woman, it just sounds so much worse than it does from a guy or whatever. Guys can be a bit insensitive or whatever. Women, that's like, it's kind of your sole fucking role. Do you know what I mean? Now, when you hear people like Nines coming out with words like mongrels and fucking byproduct and all the other fucking half-breed and all this fucking vile shit or whatever, do you know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck? And you lot are like trying to get your little WhatsApp group together, the Black Betterment fucking WhatsApp group. This is some embarrassing, fucked up shit. I said this from like fucking last year or whatever. These people only serve well as an example to decent people, to show, look, this is how shitty and vile it gets with some around race and calling fucking people from mixed race relationships, etc. It's just fucked up shit. Now, for me personally, do you know what I mean? I've got a multicultural family or whatever. For me, calling it out was never an issue. You know, I'm not Jupiter or whatever. I don't need to say whatever and then try and blend it back and this, that and the other so I can get on the panel. I couldn't care less about any of these communities or panels or whatever. So it gives me the freedom to be able to just call it for what it is. A lot of people don't like that. Or they will like it when it's like against someone that they don't like, but then when it's you being truthful with them, they don't like it at all, do they? So it's just mad. I mean, I'm just watching it as an outsider. It's just basically watching exactly what I said fucking roll round today or whatever. People seem to be a little bit slow on the uptake for one reason or another. I mean, people have always got their own reasons, haven't they? Like Jupiter now, she's like, oh, G-block this, G-block that, we're all cunts, we're all this, we're all racist. How many days, and it's not going to be weeks, it's not going to be months or whatever, how many days do you think it will be before Jupiter's fucking begging it, getting back on that panel or whatever? Wendy's already been on there the last few days or whatever. How long do we think it will be before Jupiter goes back on there? These people are disingenuous cunts. Just as disingenuous as G-block and all this other shit or whatever. There is no moral avatar amongst all these cunts. They're all vile, they've all said horrible racist shit. For Wendy and Jupiter now to be going, oh, look at all this racism, it's like, what the fuck? Yous have literally said some of the most vile shit. Just, do you know what I mean? Just like, oh well, you know, I'm saying it in context. And then saying M-bomb, M-bomb, M-bomb 5 times in a row or something. It's like, what planet are you living on where you think these things are okay or whatever? And then you're somehow months down the line or whatever, the moral avatar. It doesn't work. It doesn't work when Bella or Nines or any of these other fucking idiots around G-block. It just doesn't work. What's that idiot's name? Kale. The fucking the Black Betterman fucking dickhead or whatever, that boring brummy fucking voice or whatever. He said some of the most vile fucked up shit or whatever. According to him, every white person is a white devil. All the mixed breed, half breed, fucking whatever. I think, to be honest, that's where the influence around G-block is coming from, because he seems to be pretty vile. But now you've had this EIE, whatever his fucking name is or whatever. Everything is everything, I believe. I'm not sure. Now he's been coming out with some horrible, fucked up shit, mainly about mixed race people, children, people, whatever. And it's just taken on the chin now. It's took all this time, and then Buddha, who I think is sound, to be honest. I've said this from day one. The only decent people over that side are Ultra. I think he's sound. Scientific Method is mostly sound, I would say. And Buddha. Do you know what I mean? They are the only 3 decent people over there. Becca had a little bit of a, oh, you know, you didn't name me in the decent names or whatever a while ago when I spoke to her. I don't see Becca as part of that community, if I'm honest. I don't think that community sees Becca as part of that community. It's pretty obvious when they can't see Buddha, who is mixed race. Bear in mind, Becca's white, you know. If you can't see Buddha as part of your community, then Becca's got no chance realistically. Like any other situation, people just get used for the present situation or whatever. Now, Jupiter does the same shit. She tried pulling Becca, oh well, you know, that's why I said to Becca the other night when she was on there, go and check out Jupiter's live from a couple of days ago or whatever, because she was literally trying to use you, and then when you was agreeing with Nine, she was shitting on you and going, oh well, you know, me and Becca have had a chat a long time ago, and I think the abuse in her relationship and this, that and the other is why she's against being with white men or whatever, coming out of all this shit, and then just kept digging a bit deeper and going, oh, but you know, I'm not going to go into that because, you know, me and Becca get on. It's like, well, you've had to go into a relationship problems or whatever and past problems at least 5 times on that same live. That's why I said to Becca, go and have a look or whatever. I don't know if she has, but you know what I mean? I don't need to lie. As far as I know, the life's still up there or whatever. She's now doing the same with Nixie, trying to pull Nixie over or whatever, and then it's turned round to, oh well, I don't know why Buddha's gone to Nixie, because, you know, she's just looking for resolve, this, that and the other. Jupiter would love to pull Buddha over there or whatever and use him as a little tool or whatever. Jupiter's done this continuously for the whole time that she's been around. She's used everybody that's been around her at any point in time. Everybody's fully aware of that. Everybody is fully aware of that. Everybody's been shit on by Jupiter. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. So I think I could probably answer for Buddha, to be honest. Why has he not gone to Jupiter? Because he's fully aware of what you are. He's fully aware of your dirty tactics. He's fully aware that you're full of shit and will use anybody just to win your shitty, pointless argument. Now, it's become relevant with the Veli and his fucking brother or whatever. Veli trying to remix the other night on Manny's or whatever. Veli's now trying to remix the, oh, nothing's on video, blah blah blah, you're all chatting shit, making out me and Jupiter somehow like a fucking duo or something. Veli, hello, awake, fucking wake up, you dumb cunt. Me and Jupiter can't stand each other. Jupiter don't like me because I won't lie, and I'm quite happy to speak on the truth, the facts and the evidence that generally will fuck her up along the way or whatever, because Jupiter's told so many lies now, and that goes all the way up to covering for Hope Not Hate, using Hope Not Hate videos and everything to try and shit on people that have been around triple the time that she has. So for me and Jupiter being a duo, it's like, yeah, sort your head out. That just doesn't make any sense to anybody on any level. Now, unfortunately for Veli, he smokes that much fucking weed or whatever. He can't remember previous conversations that he's had or whatever. Now, when myself and Triller was having a discussion on his channel, or was it? No, it was the night of the so-called debate or whatever. I brought it up about his brother being one of the goons, and I did say goon, not C-O-O-N, as people are chucking around at the moment. One of the goons that turned up with the Islamic extremists to what they believed was Tommy Robinson's family home. Now, you've admitted it, Villa. You said, oh, you tried remixing it, and said, oh, well, they told him, you know, at the last minute. So he's just randomly been picked up in a car, drove however long to this location, and then told at the last second. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that for a minute, like I told you on the day or whatever. He's now kind of tried to remix that and said, oh, well, there is no video, there is no whatever. It's like, well, you admitted to me that there is at least 2 cameramen, your brother being one of them, and he told me some bullshit about, oh, they just said whatever at the last minute. Now, if that was true, put yourself in Village Brother shoes. So you're all about your channel, content over everything, blah fucking blah. So if you've gone with some Islamic extremists, are you not going to want to know beforehand where we're going, lads, what we're doing, what we're covering, what do we need to know, or whatever? Even if that did happen and they didn't tell you, and you get there and they go, oh, we're at Tommy's, Tommy will know this, Tommy will know that. At what point in time, as a decent person that Veli's trying to make his brother out to be or whatever, at what point in time would you go, right, all right, you know, if you'd have told me this previous, like Veli was making out, oh, he would have never done it, he would have never done it. Wouldn't you just pull your phone out and like ring an Uber and start walking away from the scene? That's what I would have done. That's what most people would have done. But not Veli's brother. He stayed there and got the content, didn't he? So he's a scumbag. Veli can protest as much as he wants. Raj seems to think he's a good guy or whatever. Raj has not been around for a long time, and good on him, because realistically you're not missing out, Raj. It's a shit show across the board, and things have got a hell of a lot worse in the time that you've not been around to where it is now. Now, if you've got a misconception around that situation or whatever, or you want to believe Veli's brother, that's up to you. That's up to you totally. But for me personally, it's just common sense added on to common decency. If you've arrived now in a car, right, we've pulled up, bam, 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 everyone's switching cameras and fucking whatever on. At that point, you know, they're saying, oh, we're going to, you know, Tommy's going to know this, Tommy's going to know that. You would at that point recognise that, fucking hell, this is not going to look good. Turning up at anybody's family home is not going to look good in any way, in any circle. And at that point, you would just get off. The moment you stay there and fulfill your duties to these Islamic extremists for your content over everything, yeah, you're a scumbag. You are 110% scumbag. And to me, you deserve highlighting, you deserve that bit of fame. Famous for all the wrong reasons, but you deserve that bit of fame. And if it brings a bit of danger, well, you should have thought of that before you started bringing danger to a family home. Now, anybody that's been around for a while or whatever is fully aware that all you need is a little glimpse of a street or, you know, whatever, and you can go on Street View, this, that and the other, and you can pinpoint the location exactly to where it is. So you have brought danger to that family home. Tommy had to do, I'm sure he had to do 2 videos to point out that it wasn't his house, it wasn't his family's house, this, that and the other. There's an innocent family in that house. Not that Tommy's family are not innocent, because obviously they fucking are. But, you know, these have got it wrong. It's not the right house, this, that and the other. You've made him have to come out and do that, and now Veli's trying to say, oh yeah, Tommy was cool with it. On what planet would Tommy be cool with it, realistically? That is utter bullshit and lies from Veli, trying to make his brother look like he's a fucking a saint or whatever. He's a scumbag, just the same as Ali Dawah and his fucking idiot mate. Now, I personally think that would have been a prime piece of information to have told Danny Roscoe when Jupiter was trying to get Danny Roscoe to have discussion, debate, call it whatever you want, shit slinging contest on G Block. That would have been a prime piece of information that you would have offered up if he was a decent person. But Jupiter sat on that, kept it quiet, and then it just kind of slipped out. And when it did slip out, you know what I mean? I went, what? This has actually happened, blah, 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 whatever. Are you sure it was Veli's brother? And then once she's like, admitted it all and said, yeah, you know, blah, 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 this, that and the other. I've obviously said, well, you know, don't you think that everybody else should have been like privy to that information or whatever. Especially Danny, do you know what I mean? You're putting him in a fucking predicament there by not telling him. But this is typical Jupiter, do you know what I mean? Just the same as when she was trying to link Esau and fucking Bleeding Heart up to it and all this, and oh yeah, we'll all work as a team, this, that and the other. We'll all fucking do whatever and we can all be little troll cunts together or whatever to fight the trolls. It's just as dumb as the shit that's going on at the moment. Let's fight racism with more racism. It's like, how fucking stupid is this whole situation as a whole? For me personally, this is why I've stood back from all of it, disconnected myself from anything and everyone, and then I can actually just call things out for what they are across the board. I don't care what camp you're in. I don't care what community you're in. Do you know what I mean? For me, it just is what it is. I look at it in the way of not just the country, but the world is waking up to the problems that are going on. The masses are now awake and more waking up every day. For me, if I can show people that are just coming into these things and just starting to figure things out and maybe jumping online to certain things, show them the pitfalls, show them the problems so they don't have to encounter them, end up with the families doxed, the jobs lost, do you know what I mean, the fucking kids targeted, you name it, these cunts will do it, and they will do it in the name of entertainment and winning an argument on YouTube. Everyone's fully aware of that. Now, like I've said to many people, the internet, YouTube, whatever, is generally full of quite a lot of people which are just in it for the drama, just in it for the daily doxings and whatever, in the name of entertainment. Most people are just cunts. If you just count on your fingers how many decent people you would actually go, yeah, that's a decent person. Do you know what I mean? I would support that person. I would give that person my time. I would rate that person to another person or whatever and try and send them some following. You're not going to need all your fingers, realistically. Try it. Have a little experiment for yourself and try it. Whereas if you wanted to count the cunts, fuck me. Do you know what I mean? You better get your calculator out or whatever. It's going to be a long day. Now, the hypocritical bullshit from all sides is just too funny. When you hear Wendy and Jupiter like reviewing all this shit, it's just like, do you ever listen to yourselves and think back to all the shit you've actually said, all the shit you've actually done? Do you know what I mean? And that, realistically, you could hit any community with that same stick, because they've all pretty much done the same shit. And it just seems to me, a futile, pointless fucking waste of time. And I've said this to Danny Roscoe. You may well be wasting your time around these wankers or whatever. What are you going to get out of this situation? Are any of these people, let's say we could go, right, okay, let's all have a open and honest discussion, this, that and the other. You bring all these people united, like, yeah, it's all worked, everything's great, and we all unite or whatever. Are the masses going to want to stand near any of you lot, really? Are they? You've got Wendy and Jupiter calling everyone a fucking pedo or a terrorist, or, well, Jupiter's label gun just goes off, fucking fully automatic, just off it goes, fucking labels. That seems to have just spread across the board. I mean, people will just now call each other random pointless shit, which there's no evidence to, there's no whatever, you know. Even worse, they do it, they've said whatever, they've said worse themselves. It's like, you can't be the moral avatar when you've said and done the same or worse. You just can't, it's not possible. You can say the words, but they mean nothing. And to me, do you know what I mean? There's no shortage of these people that are willing to do that. It's like, if you've known this person for longer than 6 months, then you're aware that they're just absolute shit talking wankers that are full of shit from day one. They're as bad as the person they're pointing the finger at. Do you know what I mean? And I said from day one that there has always been a need for something to be built in the middle for people that are not willing to be part of any of these shit communities, these shit fucking extremist communities which just buzz off trying to destroy each other's lives and fucking cause each other problems, stress, whatever. Not even to just them, the families, whatever. These people will quite happily go as deep as possible, and they will use the lowest of the lowest tool to do so or whatever. This is why I felt the need to like kind of step in and warn Danny Roscoe at the time or whatever. Danny Roscoe's not on the internet a lot. Danny Roscoe works. He's got a family. He's not seeing half the shit that goes on. I don't even see half the shit that goes on or whatever. I'll get sent little bits here and there, and then if I find it a bit interesting, I might watch it when I'm driving about or something, just to take in what people are actually doing and saying. Now, I'm pretty sure Danny, well, I've spoke to Danny and he doesn't get to see half the shit. He just gets told off idiots like Jupiter, idiots like Wendy, and these shit people around or whatever. The yes men that will just agree with any old shit that Wendy or Jupiter's spouting or whatever. Do you know what I mean? None of these people are people that you could actually stand with on anything. Do you know what I mean? The shit people, regardless. You can look in G Block, same situation. Exactly the same situation. These shit cunts are all around or whatever. It's just mad. Nobody could stand with any of these people and go, yeah, I'm proud to support this or whatever. This is a piece of me. This is a bit of me or whatever. This is what I'm about. Realistically, the only people that are going to stand with shit like that are proper, low-life shit cunts. I've said that from day one. And my mind's not changed. I've not wobbled. I'm still in the same fucking square that I was when I entered this game or whatever. I came with a set of morals. I came with a fucking set of rules or whatever. And I've stuck to them regardless. Now, like I said from day one, the decent people, and there is some decent people in the mix or whatever, but do you know what I mean? It turns tribal and people generally will kind of pick a side, even if they've not picked a side. They will kind of do so without actually doing so, because it turns tribal. Now, when they do that, they're just kind of tarnishing themselves, tarnishing their own names and whatever. The actual decent people in the middle, which I believe are just kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place or whatever. If there was a middle ground, which there kind of is, it is being built up here and there and whatever. Do you know what I mean? There is some building blocks in place or whatever. Again, I'll chuck that name in the mix. Candid with Lubna, absolutely brilliant channel. It's growing fucking tenfold monthly or whatever, and it will continue to do that because it's a proper ground roots fucking middle of the fucking pitch, centre ground, call it whatever you want. It's smack bang in the middle or whatever, and that's why it attracts the masses. That's why it attracts the decent people. That's why they get good guests on. There is lots of decent, productive shit around or whatever, but certain people will just keep being drawn back to these dirty little communities where you have to wipe your feet on the way out. To me, what are you doing? What are you wasting your time for in these little swampy communities or whatever? To me, it's mad. If all the decent people just kind of spend the time that you're spending online on the middle ground, you can actually make some difference. You can actually change some fucking opinions and open some minds to certain things or whatever. I've seen it over months and months and months. The game is changing, but some people will just keep resorting to the same shit. Jupiter will 110% keep going back like a battered wife. She loves it. I actually think she loves it. She's a bit sadistic or something. She likes the abuse. She likes to get the abuse, so then she can run off and go, right, I'm gonna do a live. I'm not having this. I'm not having that. She'll run off, do a live. Just an attention-seeking beg. Do you know what I mean? For a woman her age, well, she's 56 now. She was 55 for like 4 years or something. She must have been born on a leap year. For a woman her age, and Wendy, it's like, what the fuck are you about, realistically? All we have to do is look back at your checkered history or whatever. Look at the shit that you've actually covered up for. Do you know what I mean? People being tied up into this Amory Waters for Britain camp with the hope not hate shit in the middle. People lying, people at the top of the party lying, people that was in place removed, doxed, family doxed, house doxed, job lost. These cunts are literally perfectly okay with that. They was complicit to that, Jupiter especially. That's why she won't look back at that particular part of fucking time or whatever. It's just madness. The shit that these people have been in and around and perfectly okay with and complicit to most of the time should really tell the decent people all they need to know. Now, like I say, this is why some people will have an adverse reaction to me, because I will fucking say it as it is. And when people chat shit and say, oh, I didn't say this, I didn't say that, I'll pull the evidence out of where you fucking did say that. For me, it's not evidence to go, oh look, I'm gonna fuck you up, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's for when they have a decent person come around, I can just contact that person on their own channel and go, I can see that you're being sucked into a situation at the moment. Here's what they're about. Here's a couple of things that they've said or whatever. Here's a couple of things that they've done. As long as you're aware of that, you know, make your own choice, do what you're doing or whatever. I just find it my public duty to make you aware of that, because I think you're a decent person and I see that your time could be spent better elsewhere. Simple as that for me. We have got real problems going on at the moment. You've had Wendy chatting shit about Paul Thorpe again the other night or whatever. Oh, why is Paul Thorpe saying this country's not safe, this, that and the other? It's like, this bitch is fucking mental or something. We've got 82 towns and cities which are literally affected by a rape epidemic which has been targeting children for over 40 years. We've got the government, every fucking government body, police, social services, the fucking lot, covering it up for 40 years plus or whatever. It's been addressed by Tony Bugle and 200 women in the same t-shirt or whatever to draw attention to it in the Houses of Parliament with a petition or whatever. Nothing was done about it. The police have had to come out, GMP have had to come out and say, like, apologise to the survivors and the victims and the families or whatever of all the people they let down. Nothing's changed. This fucking situation just carries on and gets bolder and bolder and expands more and more daily. There's real problems going on. You've got children being fucking groomed, killed, chopped up, put into kebabs and served to fucking customers or whatever. You've got children being fucking blown up watching a music concert. All right, it was a gay icon music event. All right, well, they all must be fucking sentenced to being blown up then, because some Islamic extremist from fucking Disbury Moss decided that was the plan of action. And then you get daft cunts like Wendy and Jupiter and all these other idiots going, oh, why did he stand outside a mosque? Why did he say a guy stunk of 7-year-olds? It's like, are you people for real? 22 kids dead, 50 injured, life fucking altering fucking injuries which they will never ever forget, nor will their families or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I'm the weirdo for going and opposing the mosque that fucking promoted and protected that shit. You've had a police investigation go on at that mosque, which took a year, and found no hate speech, despite Tommy putting out the hate speech that was said in the mosque, projecting it onto the walls outside the mosque, live on videos. Despite all that, no, nothing to see here. Business as usual at Disbury Mosque. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we've got real problems. We've got real, actual fucking problems. We've got more extremists fucking flooding in daily. I'm not even going to go over the Southport thing, but look at it. Do you know what I mean? They knew. But how fast was it to come out? Oh, it's definitely not terrorism. Okay, right, all right. And then later down the line, oh, well, you know, he did have a fucking terrorist manual, and he did have ricin in his house or whatever. He had actually followed the instructions and made ricin. But it's definitely not to do with terrorism. It's like, we've got so many major problems in this country. The government are literally trying to fucking hammer down anybody that points the obvious out and speaks up in defence of, do you know what I mean? Fucking trying to bring some sort of lawful solution to the problem. And then you've got these mad cunts shitting on people. It's one of them, innit? Wendy and Jupiter protest that they are on our side. They are on the right side of history. They're pointing out this, pointing out that. But anyone that, do you know what I mean, has got higher profile than them. I've seen Paul Thorpe have about fucking 20,000 people watching his lives or whatever. Not being funny, Jupiter and Wendy, but you struggle to get like 100. The only time you get around 100 or whatever is when you're doing the 24-hour fucking shit fest back and forth. People are only coming for the drama. They ain't coming to support anything. Nobody's sharing your shit. Nobody's pumping you around and going, yeah, I rate this person. They're making some changes. They're doing this. They're doing that. No one's coming there for that. They're coming there as trolls, because that's what you lot do back and forth. You send trolls in and whatever. You've got a few yes men around the situation which are just nodding dogs to your bullshit. And it's like, do you know what I mean? This is why I said to Danny at the time, you may possibly be just better off listening to nothing at all that Jupiter says and just doing your own thing. You know, if you want to be on platforms that matter or whatever, I can give you some suggestions or whatever. Titans TV. I said this to Villa. Titans TV is, for me, the benchmark or whatever. You've got a lot to live up to. I don't know you. I don't know your community. But for me, there's the benchmark. You've got a lot to fucking live up to or whatever. If you're going to make out that you're a decent community. For me, that is Titans TV, Callum, fucking Mint community, Mint channel or whatever. You will always come away from that situation knowing something that you didn't previously or whatever. Educational. And it's done in a nice way. It's not done in a aggressive manner. It's not done in a spiteful manner or whatever. It's done in an educational way. Now, Veli's on the other side or whatever. Do you know what I mean? For people that have seen him having a debate with fucking Jordan or whatever, over the slavery thing and all that. So Veli's fully aware what slavery, the Islamic slavery, did to his people. If you want to fucking bring it down to people and race and whatever, Vela and Jeebot are fully aware that, do you know what I mean, the horrific shit that was done during slavery to the black community or whatever. But now it's like he's coming out with shit going, oh, this is racist and that's Islamophobic and fucking rah rah rah. These people are now sat with shit cunts that they don't like, just because they want to try and like build a little community of tribal fucking shit back and forth between the Jupiter camp, which is just mad. Do you know what I mean? You've both literally wasted at least a year that I know of at each other's throats. You've both shown everybody across the board that you are shit. Both shit cunts. Both happy to lie. Both happy to chat shit. Both happy to fucking use anybody that you can get your fucking hands on to try and score a point or whatever. Like you're trying to do to Nixie at the moment. Jupiter trying to suck Nixie in. Oh, well, you know, he should be fucking whatever and rah, and Buddha should be over here or whatever. We can give him compassion. We can give him whatever. Maybe Buddha has just watched the shit that you've come out with against Becca, Jupiter, where you're attacking something that a convo that you've had years ago or whatever with Becca, and you're attacking her history and, oh, you know, maybe this is why she's got an issue with white guys and rah, just trying to fucking shit on her because what? She's agreed with Nines on a couple of things or whatever. Some people just try to remain neutral. I believe Becca is probably one of them. I believe Nixie is probably one of them. Even Danny Roscoe. Do you know what I mean? It's like these people are trying to like bring some sort of resolve, I would say, and trying to build some sort of a community, I would say. Probably not against a bit of beef or whatever. If you're going to bring beef, I think each of them will give it back as much as whatever, but I don't think that that's all they are about. Whereas with Jupiter and her little fucking community and Villa and his fucking shitty community, that is all they're about. That is all they're about. They've got a narrative and they're going to run with it, and they will twist and turn any bullshit just to try and win that situation. Doesn't matter if it's wholesome and right or not, they will use any tactics. And this is why I just stay out of it all. Like I say, if there's something relevant or whatever at the time, like when he was trying to make Danny Tomo a nonce or whatever. No, I don't like Danny Tomo. I never really have or whatever. I think he's a PayPal patriot, if I'm honest, and I said that years ago. But will I have him called a nonce and a paedophile as Wendy called him or whatever? And Mandy by proxy and all that, and Danny and Simon and all these other cunts. Will I have him called a paedophile and all that when there is no evidence to suggest that whatsoever? People making out like they have seen the evidence, this, that and the other. Changing the age of the person that he did have sex with, which was a victim, a survivor, from 26 to 15. Will I have that? No, I won't, because just on the simple fact of if you can do it to Danny Tomo today, then you can do it to me or you tomorrow. It is that simple. The moment you try run with that shit and I catch you out on the lies that have been said around it and your holes in your fucking holes that are fucking found in your story and your fucking nonsense, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to fucking get in the middle of it all and whatever, and I will get you to fucking throw each other under the bus, much like I got Danny Jones to fucking throw Simon under the bus. It's one of them. I've said this from day one. You will only, when it comes to conflict with me or whatever, before I've asked you anything, I've already got any information that I needed. I'm only going to ask you questions that I know the answer to and whatnot. When you lie and you chat shit, it's easy then for me to go, right, here's where you chatted shit, here's what you actually said. You may have deleted it, but I've got it. Bam, 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 bam. I've got people that send me shit all the time. I haven't got enough time to go through half the shit that I'm sent a couple of years back or whatever. I actually said to people, you know, I appreciate everyone sending me bits, this, that and the other, whatever, but I genuinely just haven't got the time to deal with it all or whatever. And I still, you know, the message don't get through or whatever to everyone, I guess. Probably because I've swapped fucking channels, lost 100 channels or whatever over the while. So people just keep sending you information thinking that, you know, you're active or whatever. For me, all I've said You know what I mean? I said it to a few people. I'm just looking for the diamonds in the rough. There's always going to be, in every shit situation, there's going to be a couple of diamonds in the rough or whatever. And a diamond is a diamond. You get all them nice diamonds in the rough together, put them in a little community or whatever, and it will fucking thrive. I've seen it with the Manchester Collective. It turned from nothing to something pretty much fucking in a couple of weeks or whatever, and it was active and it was doing the right things. It was getting it was attracting people from all walks of life, all races, whatever. I don't think there was anybody in that collective of people or whatever, do you know what I mean, that weren't like really decent people or whatever, bang on most of their things. And we didn't all have the same whatever. We had, you know, different ideas about different things, and we could have open, honest discussions on the street anywhere we fucking choose to do so without any issues. We would run people like Antifa, stand up to racism, all these cunts. We would run them off. They'll be stood in Manchester Town Centre or whatever with the little placards and giving the literature out and all this bullshit and trying to pull people their way. And we'd literally just go and not run them off with violence, run them off with your mouth by confronting them, asking them certain things. And these people are just dumb idiots. These people are fucking mostly paid, mostly fucking, it's a job situation rather than a, well, we're out here, you know, doing whatever on the goodness of our heart or whatever. That's not what these people are. These people are paid wankers, most of them. The literature, the signs, everything that they've got or whatever is all paid for. Who's paying for all this shit or whatever? Anytime we wanted to do out, anything that we put together, our signs, our posters, anything that we was giving out, we sorted out between ourselves. You know, somebody might have paper, someone might have a fucking a printer, someone might have time to fucking be able to go and put them out or whatever, or they can put them out while they're doing something else or whatever. It was just a nice little community that pulled together and worked well with each other and would complement each other rather than fucking shit all over each other or whatever. And to me, that is what's needed right now, realistically. And like I say, there is building blocks in place for anyone that is bored of this shit, actually wants to make some changes, actually wants to do something productive. Then there is places for them to do that now. Now, you've heard Jupiter this week. Oh, I've not been around much this week or whatever. Have a scroll through. Have a scroll through. Every time she's done a live, how many hours it is and all that. This bitch will rack up more hours than most people working a full-time job. But she's sat there on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've not been around much for a while. It's like, you've literally done more hours than most people have in work. And then you got people, oh, Jupiter, the fucking YouTube queen. It's like, well, what are you actually working that out with, the amount of hours she puts in or something? Yeah, hands down, Jupiter spends more time on the internet than anybody that I've ever observed or whatever, ever known. Jupiter definitely puts in the hours. Does she put in anything productive into these hours? No, she doesn't. She's another one calling Paul Thorpe. Oh, he's a plant, he's a paid infiltrator, he's this, that and the other. But she can't recognise the people behind her pulling the strings, which have already been proven to be tied into Hope Not Hate, being covered by Hope Not Hate, having propaganda videos made to put you off the scent of what I'd already exposed from the top of the camp of For Britain, where they blatantly lied to cover for this cunt. Jupiter don't want to look at any of that, but she'll call people like Paul for, oh yeah, is this, that, is the other. I can see a problem, and the problem is you, Jupiter. The problem is you. Your ego is that big, you're fucking 7 levels above everybody. you think that people can't see it or whatever, but people can see it. They can see right through your bullshit. And it is that simple. For me, anybody that is wasting their time around any of these communities or whatever, that's all I can put it down to. You must like the drama, because there is alternatives to it. It is that simple. Now, like I say, for me personally, I've got a multicultural family or whatever. I've got very multicultural circles. For me, the shit that goes on in all these camps, especially against mixed race children and whatever, yeah, you're probably going to get my attention a bit. And if I can fucking show people what you are about, then I'm probably going to do that. Now, maybe I'll do a little video of bits of this and bits of that and whatever. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not sure. But people are aware of the things that have already been said and done. People have got short memories or just don't care. Are happy with the situation. Well, how many times has Jupiter done this? Oh, I'm never going back on there, blah, blah, blah. And then she's back on there in a couple of fucking days, a couple of weeks at best. Oh, I'm never speaking to Wendy again. She's fucking hope not hate. She's a fucking racist. All this shit, rah, rah, rah. Sat with her again, isn't she? And it's not the first time this has happened, is it? This is why I said to people, just get ready for the reunion. Because when they reunite, it won't just be Jupiter and Wendy, the fucking evil duo or whatever, which run around calling people pedos and terrorists and all this shit with no evidence whatsoever. It will be Wendy, Moon, Jupiter, the fucking trio of shit cunts, the three witches of Warwick. So I say Warwick because obviously the cunt behind them pulling the strings, he knows why I say Warwick rather than Eastwick. So yeah, we are where we are. For me personally, I will just continue to call things out for what they are, but I will always, anytime you see me around any of these communities, I can guarantee you I spend at least double that time in the decent communities. And I'm not always there and active, but I will try and send decent people to these communities and try and build up that community. And I will always try and push it to the right people. Simple as that. Simple as that. And at the end of the day, it's working, because them communities are thriving, whereas these ones are sinking, and these people are eating each other. Much like I said, they would do a while ago, enjoy the banquet. I did that video, I think it was last Christmas, enjoy the banquet or whatever, and realistically, has it come to fruition? Yeah, it has, obviously. Has Danny Roscoe wasted a year of his life around this shit when he could have been speaking to decent people and building bridges and building fucking things for people to unite on? You know what I mean? If you want to be black and white unite, then speak to the decent black people, speak to the decent communities, which may be Muslim, maybe whatever, could be anything. You know what I mean? You need to speak to the decent people, not the people which hate everybody, which is not what they are. You know what I mean? These people, when they're shitting on people like Buddha, who is mixed race, that tells you all you need to know. These people are not people that you would want to unite with, or nobody else would want to unite with. It's very obvious, very fucking simple. Well, obviously Danny does his own thing, his own channel or whatever. Does he get sucked in with it? Yeah, I think it's fairly obvious that he has been. He's been sucked into certain things or whatever. And Jupiter will build that up. Like, oh yeah, you know, Danny this, Danny that, rah, rah, rah. She weren't defending him, was she? Do you know what I mean? She weren't defending him when it was like the boot was on the other foot or whatever. And they was going through all the bucket of shit analysis of Clown World. When they was calling Danny Roscoe a fucking domestic terrorist. That was Wendy, that was Jupiter. But, do you know what I mean? People have either got a short memory, or they think that there's something worth. I don't even know what I don't know what they say. They must see something in it which they deem as worthy or whatever. The movement as such or whatever, the people online, people on PooTube especially, there's literally it's not even 1%. It's not even 1% that the movement represents on YouTube. When I jumped on, however many years ago or whatever, there weren't really many at the time or whatever, and it is more of a case of, well, there's a platform there, it can be used, and with that, you know, you can open a few fucking minds, you can change a few opinions, and you can, you know, fucking start trying to build a middle ground. All I've done realistically in the whole time I've been around is encourage people, don't go fucking far left, don't go far right, just build in the middle, and people will come. It is that simple. People don't want to be connected to any of these fucking extremists, fucking communities or whatever, and that sadly is all that is around these little communities. That's all they are, extremist communities. You've got ghosts or whatever. Oh, I'm all about anti-racism. I'm anti-racist. Blah blah blah. Why not? Why not? The people that you've got on your panel and the things that you allow to be said, and that is declining. That's going even worse. You know, doxing people's families, fucking, going at people's family members, dropping people's names who they believe is your wife and all this kind of shit or whatever. You know what I mean? So all these things that go on and you allow to go on, it's one of them. Anyone can have some dickhead on and they do some shit and you think, right, I will never ever let that person on again or whatever, because once bitten, twice shy. The moment you don't do that, well, you're complicit, aren't you? You're obviously okay with it, and at that point people just can see straight through you. You're not anti-racist, you're not this, that and the other that you're making out to be. You're just a faceless troll, like all the people that are on the panel or whatever. Faceless trolls. Look at the vile shit that Halima comes out with. She is one of the most racist little fucking rats around the, let's call it the Muslim community or whatever, on YouTube. But no, she gets a pass. Esau now plays that, oh, I'm the same as you, Ghost. I'm mixed. I'm this. I'm that. I'm the other. We're all the same or whatever. Gets free reign, given a pass to do all this vile shit or whatever. Now, if I'd have been petting, whatever, I could have gone, oh well, you know, I'm gonna fucking rip your channel from under your fucking feet, pull the rug from under your cunt, and flat pack your channel. I could have done that. I've got at least 4 examples, where I could just go, right, well, you know, feel like being a cunt today or whatever, so I'm just gonna put all these reports in and watch your channel go bang, see you later. I don't need to. Like I say, these people serve better as an example to decent people. This is where you don't want to be. This is what these people are doing in these communities. Here's an alternative. Here's a much better situation for you to be in, to put your time into. Simple as that. Now, I think I'm going to leave it there. People can like it, lump it. Couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck. For me, the truth is the truth, no matter what. Yeah. Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's well. Look after each other. Stay safe. And I'll catch you on the next one.